think about coming to Quality Cares, make sure you use my driver referral link. It gives you a little bit of money, and it gives me a little bit of money. So just throwing it out there, you can help a brother out. Since I'm giving y'all the information, I'm giving y'all the inside scoop.
Ooh, my tripod look like it's about to fall. But what's good, y'all? Don't mind the truck. I'm really off today, so the truck looking a little bit messy. You know how it be when you gotta get off the road. But yeah, look, y'all, I went with a new company. Really the biggest bulk chemical transportation company in the United States, which would be Quality Carriers. Yes, sir. We working for Quality Carriers. And I'm gonna get into my 3-month review. You know what I'm saying? I've been here for 3 months now, so I'm gonna just give y'all a little bit of insight into like what it's been like since I've been on at the company. So yeah, let's jump right into it. First things first. The hiring process. So how that went was, I ain't gonna lie, I was really just like looking around for different tanker jobs or whatever, because I had a year of drive-in experience before I started doing tankers anyways, which they required. So but yeah, it seemed like anytime you try to get a tanker job, they be already wanting you to have like tanker experience or whatever. So I was just looking for jobs or whatever, doing tank work, because I really wanted to see if I could get into like fuel hauling with like Gemini or Pilot or something like that. But I was like, man, whatever come first with this tanker stuff, that's what I want to do. I like tankers, you know, they're not as big and bulky, you know, driving them, you can see more visibility on the sides of your mirrors or whatever. When you're driving, you can see more. Backing them up, you don't need as much space, because most tankers are like 48 feet instead of 53 feet. So that's something else I really like about tankers versus drive-in. Also, like driving in bad weather, like the winds don't blow you around so much, because and especially when you load it, because like you a circle. So like if the wind blowing this way, it's just wrapping around your tank. So it's like you could just drive. Whereas a drive-in, you know, you like you like a rectangle. So when that wind blow, you know, it's trying to push you off the road, so it can be more dangerous or whatever. And so yeah, that's just something I like more about tankers. Yeah, so I just applied to Quality Carriers through I believe I found them on Indeed, but I went to their actual website and I applied, and then like like 10 minutes later, I got a call from a recruiter like, hey, whoop de whoop, you know, this is what it's gonna be like through the hiring process. This is what we need from you. We need to verify that you have a year of verify that you have a year of driving experience, you know, the basic stuff or whatever. I seen that they was paying 68 cents a mile, so I'm like, 68 cents a mile. All right, bet, you know, let me hop on that, cause like 68 cents, you know, I'm coming from 59 cents or whatever, and that was my first year in trucking or whatever. And so yeah, I'm coming from making 59 cents to making 68 cents my second year in trucking. I'm like, yeah, let me hop on that. So yeah, I applied, and then literally within that same week, I actually got the job offer or whatever. And she, the recruiter, shout out to the recruiter, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for the opportunity. Next thing I knew, I was getting emails about hotels and rental cars and payment information for orientation. I shout out to Houston for my orientation for the company, which was, I think it was like 3 weeks long, which is like the longest orientation, but it's a reason why I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But yeah, so I didn't get a rental car or whatever, but I did get a free hotel. They did have free breakfast, all that good stuff for the whole time that I was there. And I also did get paid for the orientation. I got paid in multiple ways. So yeah, it was a pretty good experience or whatever. And they fed us too at the orientation. So yeah, so how it went was, if I was to take my car, which I did, I took my car out to Houston, and when you do that, they reimburse you for the gas that you have to put in the car, and they pay you like 67 cents per mile going and coming back to orientation. So that's pretty good money or whatever. I think after everything was said and done, I got like 1,600 after tax. Like I brought in 1,600 from driving my car to the orientation and going back home in my car from the orientation. So yeah, if you do decide to come on to Quality Cares, make sure that if you take your car or whatever, you keeping up with the mileage. Like take a picture of your odometer before you start your trip to the orientation, and like once you get home and settled in, make sure you take another picture, send that to your not your recruiter, but send that to your terminal manager, and they gonna put it in, make sure you get paid for it and stuff like that. Moving on, drug tests. Yes, they do drug tests. They do pay for your physical, which was your regular DOT physical. My drug test was P only. I know some of y'all want to know that. Is it hair follicle? Is it P? Yes, it was just P, and that was like 3 months ago from the time that I posted this video. So let's see. I started in January. I started in March 2025. So yeah, as of March 2025, they're doing P tests. For those of you who gonna ask that question. But for those of you who gonna ask that question, I need to put that mess down. Like if you got your CDL, you already know. Enough people gonna tell you about that, but that ain't what y'all asked. That ain't what y'all asked. So I ain't gonna grill y'all for that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own vices or whatever. But that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, what you need your tanker endorsement, you need your hazmat endorsement, and you need your TWIC card. Those are the 3 things that you need at this company. For me personally, it was pretty easy to get all 3 of those. You could go watch other videos on how to get all of that. Me personally, I'm gonna be honest with you, I literally downloaded the CDL Prep app on the App Store. I downloaded a CDL app, and I literally studied both of the tests like for a few hours or whatever while I was at my last job. I just was studying or whatever, and then whenever I get off work, I go into the DMV and I just take the test or whatever. It was pretty easy, honestly. It's all multiple choice, so yeah, it's pretty easy to get all that. You know what I mean? TWIC card, that ain't nothing to it. You just go get fingerprinted, and that's pretty much it for that. But yeah, so far, let's get into the orientation, the actual orientation. So what goes down at orientation? Why is it 3 weeks long? All that good stuff. Okay, so your first day of orientation is going to be really getting to know I want to say like just the overall picture of the overall scope of what we do at Quality Cares. That's like the first day of orientation. It's not like super in-depth in detail, but crawl before you can walk before you can run. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna break down stuff like safety. That's like the #1 priority. They're gonna break down like what they expect as far as their safety protocol with PPE. They're gonna break down stuff about unloading hazardous material, because yes, we do transport hazmat material, of course, at this company. Have I had to unload hazardous material? I personally haven't had to unload it yet by myself within these last 3 months. These first 3 months of my experience, I haven't had to unload hazmat by itself. But we don't just transport hazmat. We also transport just regular stuff. Like one time I transported paint. Another time I transported like lubricant for like machines. Like certain stuff is you're not gonna be always transporting bomb 24/7 or things like that. You know what I mean? But yes, you are gonna transport hazmat material if you decide to come to Quality Cares. But yeah, so for orientation, they put you in the hotel. It depends, like how long you stay in a hotel really depends on your experience as a truck driver and a tanker driver. And the reason why I say that is because I was the youngest person in my orientation class. I was the only 22-year-old in there. Everybody else in there was like 30 years old and up. So yeah, orientation, basically, if you got tanker experience already, and especially if you got hazmat experience, then they're gonna put you in orientation for, I believe it was a week for those who had the tanker experience already. And then for those of us who didn't have tanker experience, we had to stay for, I believe, it was 1 week of orientation and then 10 days of what they call OJT, which OJT means on the job training. So yes, they do provide very thorough training. I must say they do provide thorough training at the orientation class for unloading procedures. You also do have to do a test drive with an instructor. You know, it ain't nothing to it. You're not gonna be test driving in a loaded tank. You test drive in a tank that's empty. If it's your first time driving tanks, so you don't have to worry about driving a tanker that's loaded with an instructor and get all nervous. No, you don't got to worry about that. You good. Just be safe. You know what I'm saying? Give everybody their space on the road. You should be fine. But yes, you do have to do a road test. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah. So for me, I didn't have tank experience, so I just had dry van experience, a year of that. So I had to stay for my week of orientation and then my 10 days of OJT. The 10 days of on-the-job training is not just no Monday through Friday and then you off Saturday and Sunday. No, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, it runs straight through weekdays, weekends. Like, it don't matter, it's going. But how it worked for me is my last day of on-the-job training, I checked out of the hotel, I went back to the crib, and I text my, no, actually, I spoke on the phone and I text my terminal manager the same day. Same day I went home, I texted him. Now, mind you, I have been already gone for basically 3 weeks doing my orientation and on-the-job training. The day that I text my supervisor, he told me, can you be at the terminal by tomorrow at like around 12 p.m. or whatever. So I was literally only home for like a day. Then I had to go back out, which I'm pretty sure if I hadn't just texted him off rip, then that wouldn't happen. But yeah, I was gone for literally like a month straight, like during this orientation thing, because I'm new. You know, they got to get me all adapted to this job and stuff. They got to get me in, you know what I mean? So they trying to move me along in the process. They hooking me up with trainers. They hooking me up with how the hotel gonna be while I'm actually training with a driver trainer, not orientation, a driver trainer. So yeah, my first day, really we just introduced ourselves to each other or whatever at the terminal, and they put me in a hotel so that way I could start going out on the road with a driver trainer. And I think if I'm remembering correctly, I think they put me with him for 2 weeks, 2 weeks straight. And during those 2 weeks, we went West Texas, we went up north towards like the Virginias, Ohio. Like we went around a couple places. So I definitely got my share of experience in as far as with my my actual training. And then once my 2 weeks was up, I shot back home or whatever. Took a little time off or whatever till they could give me a truck. Once they had a truck ready for me, they told me, hey, come up here, we're gonna have you ride up here to get the truck. Got the truck, you know what I mean, put it in the shop, make sure everything is inspected, make sure everything is up to date, you know, all the checks that they gotta do. I must say this company is very thorough with their paperwork. They're gonna make sure that everything is done according to what's in compliance, what they would call it. So yeah, that's how my orientation went. So stay tuned for part 2. I'm gonna do a part 2 as far as what it's been like ever since I actually got in the truck, started running solo. And I'm gonna put my pay stubs and all that good stuff in there as well, so you guys can know, like, have an idea of what you can make first 3 months, of course, with quality. So yeah, if you're thinking about coming to quality, let me go ahead and get this out here. If you're thinking about coming here to quality, go ahead and make sure you use my driver referral link. It gives you a little bit of money and it gives me a little bit of money. So just throwing it out there, you can help a brother out. Since I'm giving y'all the information, I'm giving y'all the inside scoop, because I know when I was first starting with quality, I really wanted to, you know what I'm saying, search up some stuff about it, see if I could find some information from anybody on YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff, and I couldn't really hardly find it. I only found like maybe 2 or 3 videos, but nobody was really making no content explaining what it's like in quality carriers. So I'm like, man, whenever I get on, let me, you know what I'm saying, try to spread the word. Let me try to, you know, expand people's knowledge about the company, because it's a good company. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a good company. You come here and make, you know what I'm saying, 6 to 8 cents a mile with only a year of trucking experience. I mean, hey, who gonna say no to that? That's almost 70 cents a mile. So if you interested in coming to Quality Carriers, I'm gonna link it down in the description below, my driver referral link, and I'm gonna put all my information that you need to fill that form out. So yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'll be posting part 2 to this probably tomorrow, or I'll post part 2 to this in the near future, so that way you guys can actually know what it's like working solo at Quality Carriers, and you guys can know kind of what the money looks like when you work in hazmat at Quality Carriers. So yeah, like and subscribe, you feel me? Appreciate y'all. Thank you. We out.